Today we are looking at New Zealand 2023 general election, but we are not here to talk about campaign promise or attack ad. We are here to talk about the man behind the power. New Zealand used the mixed member proportional system or MMP. On paper is the design for the fairness, but in 2023 things got a bit messy. We end up with an overhand anomaly that stretched Parliament to 123 seats. Our goal is to use three mathematical heavyweights: the Song-Lago method, the Gallagher index, and the Van House power index, to see if the ratio actually reflects the view of the people or if the system gives Kingmaker Party a bit too much leverage. We're diving into three specific questions: how proportional what is. We will use the Gallagher index to see if the seat in the room actually match the bubble on the ballot. The Weight factor. Did the 5% threshold, the bar a party has to jump over to get into the parliament, silent too many votes stir? The Kingmaker paradox, using Graham theory. We want to know, does the small party hold a bargain chip that was mathematically way bigger than the actual seats count?
For this project, we chose to work with the New Zealand general election datasets from October 14, 2023. We selected these datasets because it contains rich, official electoral data, covering party vote counts, electoral vote results, and final seats allocation figures. What makes the datasets particularly interesting is that the 2023 election was a significant one. It marked a major shift in New Zealand's political landscape, with the National Party, ACT, and NZ first forming a new coalition government. This combination of detailed voting data and politically meaningful events made it a great choice for our analysis.
To understand the 2023 write-up, we have to look at the engine of the MMP. The Song-Lago method, we don't just hand out seats all at once. We do it in round using the specific formula V divided by 2S plus 1. Let's look at the first three rounds to see how it works. In round 1, everyone starts with 0 seats, so we divide the vote by 1. National take the first seat with over a million votes. In round 2, because the National won, they Wizards jump to 3. This lowered their priority score, allowing Labo to swoop in and take the second seat. By round 3, both big parties have a divisor of 3, which creates an opening for the Green to claim the third seat. This mathematical handicap system is actually what ensures smaller parties aren't crushed by the giant.
Mathematical approach, Gallagher index LSQ, to measure the disproportionality between the percentage of votes VI and the percentage of seats SI. Gallagher index LSQ. A party is perfectly proportional when VI minus SI equals 0. Positive values mean the party got fewer seats than votes from deserved. Negative values mean it got more seats than votes overrepresented. The third party amount is the most overrepresented, 184 people extra, due to winning 6 electorate seats, more than their party vote alone would entitle them to, creating an overhang. Others, party with no seats, contribute the most disproportionality by losing off 5.58% of the combined vote with 0 seats returned. Gallagher index LSQ. Most parties sit very close to perfect proportionality, conforming MMP works well. The most visible gaps are National, slightly overseated by around 13 pp, and third party Mari, overseated by 184 pp due to electorate overhang. Others Northeast parties show the largest gap of 5.58% of their votes converted to 0 seats, the unavoidable cost of the 5% threshold in MMP. Gallagher index LSQ. Other Northeast dominates the contributions at 31.14 parties, below the 5% threshold, collectively absorbs almost all of the votes with 0 seats. This is the structural cost of having electoral threshold. National and the party Mali follow at much smaller values, around 16 and 34 respectively. All parties that cross the threshold are remarkable close to proportionally. Gallagher index LSQ. The next one, New Zealand's LSQ of 3.35 ranks among the most proportional democracies in the world, comparable to Germany, another MMP system, and well below to FPTF system of the UK, around 17.6, and USA around 21. This validates New Zealand's 1996 switch from FPTF to MMP, which was specifically designed to reduce disproportionality. The small remaining gap is most attributable to the 5% party ratio and the Maori overhang seats.
Next, Bansaf Power Index. In coalition government, the number of seats does not always equal power. The Bansaf Index calculates how often a party is a critical member of a winning coalition. Definition of a winning coalition: a combination of party that totals more than or equals 62 seats. Definition of critical: a party is critical if the coalition total falls below 62 when they leave. And here is the example of Bansaf Power Index. So, how fair was the result? We used the Gallagher Index to find out. The 2023 election score at 3.45%. To put that in perspective, winner-take-all system like a US or UK usually score between 10% and 15%. A score this low proves that New Zealand MMP system is doing its job. It is remarkably efficient at reflecting the people's view in the legislative chamber. Let's talk about BPM or the bargain shift index. We found a massive parade point, even though the party like New Zealand First or ATC might only hold 6% of the seat. Their mathematical power to form or break a government is closer to 8%. In 2023, this kingmaker held this proportionate leverage. Mathematically, they weren't just small party, they were the critical voters. Without them, the entire coalition would collapse, giving a party with a handful of seats the power to dictate national policy. Waste vote analysis. First, regional distribution. Urban centers highest concentrate of waste vote due to support of minor parties that failed to hit 5% threshold. Maori electorate. Lowest waste votes. The court rule allowed Te Pati Maori to bypass the 5% threshold by winning 6 electorate seats. Rural regions. High efficiency. Most vote went to major party, resulting in direct seat allocation. Second, demographic breakdown. Youth vote most affect demographic younger vote, tend to support niche or alternative party that often fall short of 5% requirement. Protest voter. Voters seeking anti-establishment options saw their influence zeroed out mathematically by the threshold. Third, mathematical impact. Representation gap 5.6% when unrepresented equivalent to the population of a medium-sized city. Threshold sensitivity. Reducing the threshold to 4% would have halved the waste vote and lowered the Gallagher index closer to perfect proportionality. Expected result and significant. Fairness insight. We expect the Gallagher index for New Zealand to be significantly lower than in first past the post system, proving the mathematical efficiency of MMP in representing voter intents. Power dynamics. The analysis will likely show that party with only 6 to 8% of seats hold nearly 30 to 50% of the power to form or break a government. Policy impact. The finding can be used to evaluate if the 5% threshold of the Court rule create mathematical anomalies in democratic representation.